The alien arena was full of noise, the kind that shook the floor and made the air feel alive. Thousands of beings from hundreds of different species filled the massive stone seats, shouting and waving banners. The galaxy loved a fight, and today the greatest predator of the stars would give them what they wanted. The predator was not a name, it was a title. It was earned through blood, through battles that broke civilizations and crushed empires. The predator was the champion of the galaxy, undefeated for 200 years. Its armor was black and silver, its mask carved with scars from ancient hunts. It carried a blade longer than most creatures were tall, a weapon that burned with blue energy along the edge. The arena lights dimmed. Silence spread. The predator stepped forward, towering over everyone. Its eyes glowed red beneath the mask as it raised the blade to the sky. The crowd erupted. Every alien voice screamed the name of their champion. The predator looked down at the prisoners who had been dragged into the arena. Today, it would kill them for sport. They were chained in the sand, forced to kneel in fear. Some were insectoid, some reptilian. A few were covered in fur. The predator scanned each one with its visor, marking their weaknesses. It could already see how they would die, quickly, without glory. And then the scans stopped. At the far end of the group was something strange. Small, weak, fragile. A creature with no armor, no claws, no scales. Its body was soft, its skin was pale. Its eyes were forward-facing like a hunter's, but the rest of it looked like prey. It was a human. The predator froze. For the first time in 2 centuries, its claws tightened around the blade in hesitation. The crowd noticed. Whispers spread across the arena. The predator never hesitated. The human stared back, calm and unblinking. The others were trembling, begging for their lives, but not this one. The human sat on its knees, wrists in chains, but its eyes were steady. The predator tilted its head. Why was this prey different? It had never seen a human before. The species was new to the galactic stage, small in number, scattered across their young worlds. Most of the galaxy ignored them. They had no advanced weapons, no fleets of war, no reputation. They were unimportant. But this human, it did not look unimportant. The predator stepped forward, its blade humming with power. It scanned again, and the visor filled with strange data. Heart rate, steady. Fear level, low. Stress level, controlled. The human's body was weak, but its mind burned like fire. The predator lowered its blade just an inch. The crowd booed, angry at the hesitation. The announcer shouted in alien tongues, demanding blood. The predator ignored them. It crouched, lowering itself to the human's level, studying. "Do you not fear me?" the predator asked, its voice deep and sharp, translated into galactic common. The human smiled. "Of course I do. But fear is not the same as weakness." The arena gasped. None had ever spoken back to the predator before. The predator leaned closer. "You will die here. All prey dies here. Why are you calm?" The human looked around at the other captives, then back at the towering warrior. "Because you've already lost." The predator stiffened. "Explain." The human's voice was quiet, but it carried across the arena, amplified by the silence. "You've spent centuries fighting the strong, killing the powerful. That's easy. But you don't understand us. You don't understand humans. We are not the strongest. We are not the fastest. But we are the most dangerous." The predator laughed, a sound like steel scraping stone. "You are small, weak, fragile." "Yes," the human agreed, "but we never stop. We learn, we adapt. Every wound makes us tougher. Every loss makes us smarter. You may kill me today, but you've already lost. because others like me will come, and they won't stop until you're gone." The predator's mask hid its face, but for the first time in memory, it felt something strange. Doubt. It had fought countless species. They all begged for life. They all feared the end. But this human spoke as if death meant nothing, as if survival was inevitable. The predator stood, towering again, blade ready. The crowd screamed for blood, chanting louder and louder. The human closed his eyes, ready for the strike. But the predator did not move. Its hand trembled. In that single human gaze, it had seen something terrifying. Not claws, not strength, not speed, but the promise of a future where these fragile creatures would rise, where they would fight without end, where they would become the hunters. The predator saw an enemy it could not kill with a blade. It lowered the weapon. The crowd roared in anger, but the predator ignored them. It turned, lifted its blade high, and pointed to the human. "This one is not prey," it declared. Its voice boomed through the arena. The chains were cut. The human was released. The guards protested, but none dared to oppose the champion. The predator walked away, leaving confusion and silence in its wake. That night, across the galaxy, whispers spread. The predator had spared a life. The champion had declared a fragile species dangerous. Every empire, every warlord, every council began to take notice of humans. Who are they? Why would the greatest hunter fear them? And on a small, distant planet called Earth, humans lived their ordinary lives, unaware that their legend had already begun. The human who had stood in the arena returned home eventually. They carried no scars, no proof, only the memory of standing unbroken before the deadliest warrior in the galaxy. They told their people what had happened, and the story spread like fire. Humans were not the strongest. They were not the fastest, but they were the ones who refused to bow. Years passed, wars came, empires rose and fell, and wherever humans went, the galaxy remembered the day the predator froze, the day it saw not prey, but the future. The predator never fought humans again, not because it couldn't win, but because deep in its core it understood. Some wars cannot be won with blades. Some enemies cannot be hunted. Some enemies endure. And in the long shadows of the stars, the predator knew humanity was coming.